So, headshots. Today we're gonna check out the handling overhaul mod for Heat by Redline James. Let's see what we get. Handling overview. The removal of brake to drift. Driving techniques from more conventional racing titles can be used. Proper braking zones and racing lines are required to take corners at the highest speed, and drifting requires throttle management and counter steer to hold the slide. Driving styles which work in Forza Horizon or Grid can be used effectively to win events. Let's see about that. I hope that's true. you can still get the car to drift. Not brake to drift, but to drift overall when you have it set to oversteer. Yeah, I don't think the NPCs can handle the new model. Yeah, I messed up today's stream notification. We're doing a handling mod for Need for Speed Heat. Type an exclamation mark Heat, it should give you the download link for the mod. So set the car to overdrive. It's called oversteer. And NPCs definitely are trying as well. Okay, tuning is not too bad. We won our starting race on the hard difficulty. Does it feel better than the night handling? Different, really? I'm not sure if it's better or worse. I would say it's just different, and I think depending on what kind of driver you are, you will have a different opinion. But let's try it a bit more. Obviously, this is the starter car without any upgrades. He didn't even finish his lines, man.
Racing that bad girl. She's perfect for someone just starting out.
Did you see how slammed the car was? The tire was cutting. There you go.
Oh, stock is
Into the body kit.
The showdown.
Stream started 5 minutes ago. How's the mod? playing around with the new live tuning settings. Dude, even at full understeer, the car still has some oversteer in it, so I think it might be a good idea to just keep it. Actually, put traction control to 0 as well. Do you notice the slightly different interface for the nitros? Sure, Anna. Thing is, we have enough lateral grip, so a little bit of oversteer helps us turn in. Should be good. Yeah, basically brake to drift is no more. They compare it to Forza Horizon and Grid, which is ambitious, but it's not too wrong considering brake to drift is not really a thing anymore. The car will drift, but because of because of a weight shift and a loss of grip. There's actually a separate setting for over and understeer. It's a suspension setup. But yeah, the downforce offset is more like... I mean, it also adds to that, right? It's just an additional tuning factor. But you're right, it does add to the same. It will also control your car stability in corners. I think the idea really is to play around with the settings and see what we can find. For example, like a slightly oversteering car that has balanced downforce might be good.
Think you can keep up?
I don't know, Anna. Let's find out. Also, her name is Anna, right? There's one N in there. If you wanna be called Anna, get a second N. It's Anna. Anna. Or the way Haluka says it, Anna. Where's my grip?
They've been around for years. Showdown floods this place with new blood, base surface, and check
They all look so irrelevant. I might want to cheat myself some money so I can try out a few cars. Dude, maybe Need for Speed can have a collaboration with Bridgestone. Or another tire brand. I'd like Need for Speed tires in real life. Shit. Let's get a little bit more rep. Let's try to get a Heat 3. Let's see if they changed anything about the cop interactions. And try out the basic shit. Does the pursuit breakers still work? Okay, it might be easier to dodge some of the cops if they have a hard time driving. Okay, I don't think we can keep the cops on us. The Grand Tour? Where did I hear that before? Cops don't know how to drive. Yeah, we will see. We'll see if they do better at higher speeds. I don't know. Maybe they're dealing with traction control issues or something. No, I'm usually an optimistic guy, but I really don't think that the world became a better place after COVID. I don't really see too many good takeaways, right? I'm still happy in a way I am and everything, but I just feel like overall COVID was just a massive L for the world. Obviously. Oops. I don't think you're supposed to be up here. At least the game realized that I'm very much out of bounds. Hey guys, Kuru here. Check out Instant Gaming for cheap game keys. Click the link in the description below. Yeah, that drift came very unexpected. Food delivery became better. Honestly, it was the same in Vienna. I guess for a handful of people, working from home became a plus, right? I mean, honestly, what bothers me the most is that everything became more expensive, because I'm making about the same. You know, money-wise, I'm making about the same. But everything is more expensive, so effectively, right, I'm earning less, because my expenses went way up. And you know, my brain is very numbers heavy, right? And that stuff bothers me. Whoa, okay, sorry. Good hit though. We need one of those burnout edits on this move.
Don't relax just yet. I'm right behind you.
Not too sure about that, Anna.
Want an even short and edit your highlights.
Too bad. Let's have fun.
I kind of like that you can now lose your grip.
Just remember.
Sure, you don't have to race. You can immediately go back to the hideout, but I don't think that's enough reputation. Yeah, for the speedrun you can skip daytime. Unless you really want money for something. Like the speedrun does not use the day at all. There's some story missions during the day you have to do, but that's everything you do during the day. And I gotta be honest, Heat is better at night. These idiots. I hope you enjoy sleeping with the fishes. I wanted to get a nice cut on the corner and they just completely messed it up. So yeah, a lot more braking and gripping is on the menu today. No brake to drift. So drifting generally still works, but you get a more realistic drift that doesn't get activated by simple tap, but by wheel spin and weight shifting. No! I hit this corner. How do you miss him so badly? Are you kidding me? Finally! Holy shit. That was too much work. The thing is, brake to drift is the only fast method of racing in this game. So if you immediately turned it off, you made it a lot slower. You know, since they have worse handling, I think it's gonna be a lot easier, yeah. It's gonna be a lot easier to bait them. I mean, NMK, it definitely was a catalyzer. At the same time, you had like supply chain issues and a bunch of stuff that are just inflationary, you know, that just have negative effects to it. Right? It didn't just accelerate it, it made it worse too. It definitely let failing companies fail earlier, but additionally, you had additional losses, right? I'm not sure why they are stuck in place very often. The thing is, you know, if it just accelerated broken things, then, you know, it also would have recovered faster. Sadly, it's not that simple. Sure. Says the guy pointing a gun on my head. We started playing this and Carbon Redux at the same time. Yeah, I'm not surprised Carbon won. I did duel, I did. I also shot it on stream. But feel free to post it in the chat. I bet someone has not done it yet in here. We watched that video where they were basically listing all the games that are not playable anymore. Very interesting watch. I think the reason why the crew made such a wave when it comes to this topic is simply because it was actually one of the good games that is not available anymore. But it's a game that people actually enjoyed. Not being able to play it anymore is quite shitty. StopKillingGames.com, there is, guys. Okay, let's see how I like the handling. What was the necessary amount of signatures so the EU takes a look at it? 1 million? How far is it right now? Halfway? I'm gonna tell Lisa to sign it as well. What I liked about night racing is that it was actually quite fun to cut corners. And it's still fun even if you're not brake to drifting. Yeah, this feels good. I think we played a previous version of this mod in the past. This definitely feels better already. But you can see how I'm driving, right? The typical out-in-out raceline strategy. What if the game is TDO Solar Crown? Well, even that game deserves to stay alive, you know? Optimally, you know, they would think of the end of life for any online-only game before they release it. Or at least before they stop developing the game, right? When they're done patching, you know, there's gotta be a failed switch at the end of it all. Yeah, if you've been a regular on the channel in the past for years, I always rebought the crew so I could play it again. Because another shady thing that they did is they didn't allow you to reset your progress. So if you wanted to play the career mode in one go and cutscenes and everything like properly lined up, you had to get a new save file, and that was only possible when you bought the game anew. I was okay with that, right? Like Ubisoft made a lot of money from me replaying the crew. He stagnated the progress. How does that work? Did he say it's a bad idea? Is he against it? If that's the case, it's a pretty weird stance. The idea of it is stupid. Why? He misunderstood the purpose of the initiative and spread misinformation. Nice. Always good to do some research before you have an influential opinion. You know how I always say you shouldn't have an opinion if you don't understand the topic? It doesn't matter who it is. You should not have a strong opinion about any topic if you don't know shit. It's not the first time that I heard that he hates admitting that he's wrong. Wasn't it the same when his guild wiped? And he was somewhat responsible? I don't know the exact story. But I remember something similar. As a game dev himself has a conflict of interest. I don't know, maybe someone is in his ear telling him what to say. It's also possible. The community hates me. Oh no! Poor little millionaire. So sad for him. I mean, to be honest, Moist has much more weight anyways. So, it's good to have him on our side. Wait, why is that guy driving in reverse? The AI is completely messed up with this mod. I mean, he wouldn't be the first narcissist that became popular, right? Just because you have a certain character trait doesn't necessarily eliminate you from being successful. I am surprised, like, how do you misunderstand the cause of the initiative? Like, what did he think? What did he think it was? That's the one thing that I didn't hear yet. Didn't even read it. Yeah, but then he must have had an assumption, right? Let's see if he wants to take a bath. I guess I'm taking a bath. Get him. Okay, here's one thing though. A lot of content creators create controversy on purpose because it keeps them relevant. And I'm not saying he did it, but I'm saying a lot of people do it.
I have no clue about this drama, so listed to this song I guess.
Thank you, Skiza. I gotta say, I kinda like that the car starts drifting from the weight shift. The thing is, the developers probably don't have the right to give out the source code. It's gonna be the publisher that decides that. But yeah, it would be a good idea to give access to anything on-ramp related to communities. Oh, wow, that was a kill. A I kinda wanna try to go to heat level 5 already. I hate when they do this, they just keep... they just make a nice circle with you.
Watch yourself.
Cross incoming. This would have been a great idea to bring back cross. Heat level 5 in a game like this. It plays so much like Most Wanted. So the red marker that you see on the new NOS interface is the minimum you need to activate it. In case you don't know, in this game, when you jump over water, even the chopper loses you. So the developers really intended you to have a pursuit breaker. Obviously working a bit different, but works. You know what the mod should do? Rebalance the money values. Right, if you divide the engine swaps by 100, it would be an okay price. Because you really don't get that much money in this game. So, you know, an engine swap for 600,000 is insane. You know how much you have to grind for this? So apparently the tires are cheap. Look at this, they rebalance the money for this stuff. So this is part of the mod, to drift tires, super sports tires. Provide the most traction possible out of road legal tires, using both a softer compound and stiffer sidewalls. This compound means business. I like business. Oh wow, we definitely have a lot more grip now. That suspension, those tires, big difference. Let's see what it feels like. You know, they said to compare it to Grid and Forza Horizon. I remember the last time I played this mod, I compared it to Most Wanted. Traction control still on. Yes, actually. Let's see if I feel it if I turn it off. I remember one trick that surprised me. It was basically, you know, balance on one leg, and or maybe it was balance on like a small platform, and look forward. And when you close your eyes, all of a sudden it becomes harder to balance or something.
Got one of our guys in a pursuit.
I'm not sure if there was more to it than just standing on one leg. I think so, like something that actually required you to rebalance. Maybe it was an unstable base you stood on. You know what I like about the nitrous that can be adjusted as much as you like? Or rather use it when you want to use it? It kicks in immediately. When you use this bottle thing, where it burns the entire bottle, it takes a while for it to kick in. I never liked that. Okay, traction control 0 I cannot recommend, because then the car just loses it way too easy. But probably good if you want to do drifting. Even the default setting the mod comes with is traction control 10%. You know, I'm very picky when it comes to handling mods, so it's nice to say that I like this. But the game's not Break the Drift anymore. Feels great. I would say Most Wanted is more planted. So this feels more like, you know, a loose car in Grid and Forza Horizon. I think that's a fair comparison from the mod makers. So there's another event here I can farm. The thing is, you also get heat level simply from doing events. Like every time you get reputation, your heat level goes up as well. Or rather, your heat goes up, not an entire level. That's the thing, I probably have a bunch of undiagnosed stuff. Okay, no, I remember one thing from my childhood. Vitamin D deficiency, even though I was spending a lot of time in the sun. So I'm supplementing vitamin D every day. You actually get that from MedMonk for free as well, if you get a yearly subscription. Today we're definitely sucking MedMonk's dick. But yeah, I get vitamin D from MedMonk. And what was the other thing? There was one more thing. I can only remember the vitamin D thing as something that was diagnosed on a regular basis. Forza? No, that wasn't it. Oh shit, it's already my second repair. I really wish you could just charge your nitrous without getting a repair during races. Yeah, probably a good idea to get some feedback from some university people, see what they have to say. Let's see if I can feel brake balance shift.
No matter where you run, I will find you. This suspect is an identical twin.
I have one more repair, this might be enough.
I want everybody back on this driver ASAP. Don't let him get away again.
I've got eyes on the subject. Come on, let's run him into the dirt.
Taking a lot of damage, man. The thing is, if I take that last repair, then I know. Might be hard to get up to heat level 5 because I won't be able to repair during that chase. I do wish there was a better way of progressing this, because very often the most efficient and time relevant method is to do the same event twice. Like I wouldn't mind being able to teleport to events as long as you're not in a chase, right? As long as you're not in a chase, I feel like teleporting to events would be nice. Right, so it's the same thing that I say about so many racing games. I just want the option, you know? Give the players the option to let it play how they want, right? If they don't want to free roam to every event, then they shouldn't have to. Yeah, isn't it crazy that Heat is like close to 6 years old? Like in November, it's gonna be 6 years old. I can't wait for my kid to be 6 years old. Although kids become fun way before that already. Like when they start talking. It actually feels like you have a functioning human being in front of you. Shit. When my kid is 6 years old, I'm gonna be 42. Premium currency in TDU, and the casino will not be playable in some countries. It might be in Austria, dude. Austria has some anti-loot box laws. I'm not a dad. Well, I'll be a dad in 2 weeks. So yeah, a fair chance that I would have to turn on a VPN if I want to check out the casino in TDU. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me that that game gets degraded to microtransaction hell. It's too bad. The game's just not good enough for people to actually pay for it. When is Season 4 in TDU? When do I have to play this game again? I mean, you could argue TDU is worse than a lot of mobile racing games. I don't even think that's unfair as a take. A premium currency and you can buy the pass with it. Okay, how does that make sense? Because you will buy the pass anyways if you need it, right? Why do you need a currency for that? Sounds to me like just an entry level, right? Getting people used to buying the premium currency and then introduce more stuff along down the line. Solar letdown. Solar clown. I heard a few of those. Solar letdown, solar clown, what else is there? TD Wii U, because it flopped like the console. Get it? I gotta say I'm a bit proud of myself that I called the Switch 2's initial success. You know, the crazy thing to me is that you still don't have easy access to the console, right? Solar frown. It's now upside down. Flamingos revealed. Very important. I needed that. Switch 2 is the first Nintendo console with a 2 in it. True. Because they went from the Nintendo Entertainment System to the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. The Corvette was 18, right? I bet this car would be really good. Yeah, if I went to Heat level 5, I probably would have unlocked the Corvette here. Wait, why do I have no money? What a shit nightmare, I made no money. The 2DS, oh true. You're ever so slightly wrong, that is true. The 2DS existed. It's not that I forgot that I can't get money in the night. It's that usually you get at least some money in the night by doing challenges and stuff. But I expected to get a little bit more than, I don't know, 3k or what I just got. I mean, TDU has the same problem as Unbound. People don't like the base game, so why would anyone buy DLC? Why would anyone buy microtransactions? Why would anyone buy the Solar Pass? Right, if your base game sucks, you cannot convince people to spend more. It's not gonna work. I have a very, very strong opinion about this. Especially, just try to prove me wrong on this one. Like, find a game that is shit, but people spend money on it. Nah, the DLC in Heat wasn't good either, but it was like a one-off, right? They sold the DLC for $5 and nothing else. Unbound has a lot of DLC, but also has that problem that, you know, a lot of people didn't buy it because they don't like the game. Well, the thing is, Call of Duty and Genshin have plenty of fans. The same cannot be said about Unbound or Solar Crown. Also, you should differentiate between your opinion about a game and the general opinion. Right, your opinion can absolutely be valid, but You know, if it's not shared by a lot of players, then, you know, it's your opinion. It's not the majority. Yeah, my favorite racing DLC was always like new racing tracks. Like real content added to the game. Cars as well, for sure. Very often there's some cool cars that they add, but more importantly to me is like extra racetracks. The gacha mobile games make bank. They do, interestingly enough. It's definitely a new generation of players that get scammed. Oh yeah, the DLC was free. The McLaren F1 was $5. No, you got the F1 and with it the DLC. Yeah, the Aston Martin was free, it was just one car. But yeah, if everything goes according to plan, player 3 joins the game within the next 2 weeks. But you know, it's really hard to tell, you know, like in my opinion Lisa looks still very relaxed, and then sometimes she looks very exhausted, right? So it's kind of hard to tell when it's gonna happen. To make me a dad gamer, of course. What else would it be?
Drive safe.
Dipshit. Nice name. You hate this guy, which makes him a good character, right? If he makes you hate him,
You okay?
and he plays his role right. If my kid's better than me, at most wanted, then I'll do some proper commentary on the new world record. But we're not crunching for the release giant. Although Lisa kinda is. I think Lisa would like for the kid to be born today. Let's see how drifting feels like.
You're drifting. That's it.
Yeah, that feels very different.
Okay, nice. You know how to throw this thing around. Okay, tryout's over. How about you go around this track for real now?
Let's see if we can make the point target like this.
Remember,
Yeah, the drifting feels a lot more interactive now. You know, with counter steer and controlling your throttle. This is a nice improvement. Knows it. This feels fantastic. And shouts to the mod makers, man. And this feels better than some modern drift games that came out.
you make this look too easy.
The thing is, they are merely utilizing what the engine is capable of doing, right? That's why I always say, you know, they need more people actually working on the handling in Need for Speed. If you just put all of the work onto one guy, you know, I'm not too surprised that he is overwhelmed by the workload.
Good, don't lose it.
Don't even lose that much speed. That's usually something good. I like that. Maybe don't lose all of your speed just because you're off-road. It can get pretty annoying when you slow down so much. I think she just took a bath. Nice. I'm not sure I heard that voice line from her before. The thing is, you can trigger quite a few different dialogues depending on what's happening, you know. You're losing the race, you're ramming them, or you're like really far ahead, or you hit the traffic car. Bunch of different triggers. And when we played the Getaway yesterday, super jank game first of all, but at least it was entertaining. It had a lot of random cars, man. Like Renault Laguna, Saabs, even something with a B.
Ready to donate another car to the Raider Fund, baby?
What was that brand with the big B? They usually tune other cars. It's like sitting on my tongue, man. Brabus, yeah. But hey, now we have a mod for Need for Speed Heat for everyone that hates Brake to Drift. Apparently there's new auxiliaries. Extra NOS tank. Hell yeah. Make use of a second small tank. Regain 60% of your NOS every 45 seconds. Alright, interesting. That's new. I want to try it. What else is there? Small repair kit, extra NOS tank. Yeah, regain 100% of your nose area 80 seconds. E3 race is great to make money. Like, I really think they should have just balanced the entire game around night racing. Because I think the day racing is just spectacularly boring. There wasn't much during the day that's worth doing. Partial nitrous is super nice. What about all the other cars? Why am I the one in the crossfire?
5 Mustang.
I also really like the art style that they used for Heat. The game does look great. I have not tried to combine it with Evolution or Unite, no. I guess give it a try. I also didn't read anything in the README or anywhere else. No idea if it's compatible with anything else.
Right, don't pull over.
Don't you love the sass? Alright, don't pull over.
Let's hear your spotting moving,
Dead
everyone.
Marathon? When you subscribe with tier 3. I think that's a fair deal. Tunisia? Ah, interesting. The other thing is I don't think... Nah, I definitely could not find Tunisia on a world map. That's something I would have to Google. Imagine people would have already adopted stable coins in their daily lives, all around the globe. Then you could easily have payments. Whenever I use a setting like this, I wonder, is it gonna help my acceleration, you know, just from stopping my car to spin its wheels? If I kill the cop.
No matter where you run, I will find you.
Kill the cop, I can restart. The thing is, the camera change button is also the event restart button. Very, very clever by developers. Yes, we're taking racing lines in Need for Speed now. You excited? After all this time? To be fair, brake to drift is also on the racing line. You can still force the car into a drift, but it's now weight shift. Primarily, and it can pull the handbrake too. It just feels a lot more realistic now. It's quite nice, I like it. It just feels better when the car is not forced to drift all the time. Today we also had 35 degrees yesterday. It was 36. That was very toasty. I got lucky today. When I mowed the lawn, we had overcast everywhere. So it was 30 plus degrees, but at least no direct sunlight. Wait. How did I manage to restart the event again? Interesting. I didn't press retry, so what must have happened is that it remembered me pressing retry on the previous race, and somehow the game now executed the command. Oh, that's crazy. That happened to me before, but this time I'm 100% sure. It was because I spammed the retry button on the previous race.
I have a positive idea.
That's really cool, actually.
Let's hunt them
So
down.
even though I was in a chase,
John, the attention you're giving him, come on.
It
move
restarted the
everyone.
event.
I want him caught this time.
51 degrees Celsius? Okay, that's insane. The only time I've ever encountered that temperature is in a sauna. But I'm actually pretty sauna proof. The last sauna I sat in was 95 degrees. And I was sitting right next to the oven. That was a nice sweat. The last bigger vacation in Croatia that I did. I don't know if you guys remember. That was a toasty sauna. I'm not sure if they even build saunas that go hotter than like 100 degrees. I mean, most jobs are just being compliant. Let's be honest. Some jobs might require you to have a certain kind of education, but at the end of the day, you just do what you're being told. The one thing about content creation is that, you know, for the most part, I get to call the shots. It has its pros and cons. I think the biggest downside is, you know, the lack of vacations that people usually have.
Trying, but ain't no way you gonna
Right,
take me
like
down.
I can't just take a week, 2, 3 weeks off if I wanted to.
Gonna try to pin him off to the side.
Right, that's the difference between, you know, being replaceable and unreplaceable, right?
Someone's got a block. May as well be.
Might need a repair. Okay, we're on our way to one. Actually, I didn't even take that much damage. I mean, I generate a small amount of income from the YouTube channel. But effectively, yeah, I do have to stream. If I stop streaming, I will stop making money. You know what this game does well? It actually feels like a need for speed. Like driving fast feels fast in this game. It's actually a need for speed with sense of speed. I recently heard an argument about the upcoming Sonic racing game. But if the Sonic racing games aren't as popular as the competition, aka Mario Kart, then, you know, maybe they should do something else better. And I feel like Sonic is a character that calls for speed. They could make a much faster version of Mario Kart with Sonic racing. Formula 1 is like the only thing I watch. Like, it's the only motorsport that I actually follow. This weekend we got the Austrian GP. A Lando fan? Not really. Charles, actually. I think I initially was a Ferrari fan simply because my dad was, you know, rooting for Schumacher. But, you know, I kinda want my boy Charles to win, you know, after I ruined his race in the virtual GP. I wish him the best in real life. A lot of reputation, I think we should bank it. Oops. Oh, the game's loading forever. That issue still remains. It has a hard time respawning you after a crash. It's crazy how far it pulled me back too. But these pools here in the middle of nowhere are definitely a safety hazard.
Terminating.
I'm getting no money. I think we should throw in a day. I think we should throw in a day, make some money, buy a new car. But the thing is, I have 270 performance. It's such a bad idea to switch car now. Ooh, fat tank. 10 pounds? Dude, we have 2 right now. Oh shit, that's a lot of NOS. We have 5 times as much NOS now, holy crap. What else we got? 15 and 20. Oh, look at this, okay. We can double it one more time. We just quintupled our boost. Then we can do it again. Masturbate first thing in the morning. Nah, do it at night, man, then you sleep better. That's a pro tip right there. Better sleep means better recovery, means more testosterone for your life. I did the math. It is scientifically proven. To my full experience voice. Like, that's a thing. That's a thing now, okay. This is actually a pretty fun racetrack here. Like a slanted oval is way better than a flat one. We're doing the NASCAR. Meow. Oh god, where's my steering? Oh, interesting. During the day, the interface was broken. Oh, that's some feedback for the modders. Dude, even the modders don't play daytime. The daytime doesn't show you the nitrous. You see that? The nitrous bar is not here. They actually forgot about it. This is how little people play daytime. That's funny. I didn't expect to find such an obvious mistake. Project Verstappen. I don't think I have the necessary background nor money to raise a Formula 1 protege. Right, Jos Verstappen was a racing driver himself, right? He knew exactly what he was doing, he had the connections. Interesting, that car is back, huh? Beat Kuru 1. Level, what do you mean level 400 plus? Why am I getting such a strong opponent? Fuck. Let's see if I get paid if I completely lose. Weirdest thing about these time trials is just how you can break everything. This is my own time trial. Why am I getting my own time trial? Dude, this time trial must be from 2019 because I don't remember the last time I did this. This is my ghost from 6 years ago. Online competition to fund karting. Maybe. I don't really think that you can make money from online competition in sim racing. Oh, you can jump in as well, nice. Oh, smooth. Oh, that was the smoothest landing ever, man. Speedrun? No, I'm just farming some money for a new car. Because if I don't, either will take the Corvette or finish the game in the starter car. You know what? In order to break my own muscle memory, I gotta go suboptimal. They also have a stronger start than me. But they do have a hard time with the handling sometimes. See what happens when you try to drift. Does not work, you just slide right off. Which is good, use the brakes. How would you punish players that go off-road? How would you handle that issue? Like most of the time you're just gonna lose so much speed anyways. I mean, this of course is a shortcut. Could make a hard barrier, but I think that would actually be boring. I like the ability to find cuts and use them. Make your own racing line. Lots of chromatic aberration going on. This is, you know, when it splits the colors. Instead of a sharp pixel, you see the pixel like in 3 colors. That makes sense. If not, just Google it. Chromatic aberration. Wait a second. Is it the 26th? Ooh, I gotta do something. I gotta do something in the background. I can actually show you. So, one of my favorite games that I recently bought is Fast Fusion. I was kind of hoping that it has an update today. It's the 26th, right? Damn, not yet. Maybe later today. It is the 26th, right? So, they said they would have an update today with content. Oh, yeah, that is. Okay, I forgot to have auto update on. Okay, I'm probably gonna do this after Heat. Shouts auto update, actually convenient. New update for Fast Fusion and Mario Kart. But Mario Kart was actually a bad update, I heard, because they basically added the transitional races to the random selection. You know when you play multiplayer and you pick random for the event type? It now includes the transitional races instead of just regular races. A lot of people are hating on it because it's a lot of straights that are now added to the game. Finish the drifting part of the game, beat the boss and stuff? No. I think I'm done with that game. I didn't like it enough to go back to it, if I'm honest. It was very janky, man. Prefer some grip handling in Heat, man. That's good. Also, shout to the 10 women that are watching the stream. Always good to have you here. I wonder how many gooners on the female side I ever had in my content over the years. Apparently the Switch 2 screen is quite bad. I just noticed some weird colors when I played it undocked the first time, but I barely use it. Barely use it undocked. I can tell you one thing though. Racing content is like 99% male dominated. Like it doesn't matter if I look at Twitch or YouTube stats, it's like always 99% guys. GR needs to be properly calibrated from what you heard, but the screen itself has a lot of ghosting and very slow response time. I mean, typical Nintendo, right? They're gonna give you a reason to upgrade to the OLED Switch 2 when it comes out. Oh, smooth. See, this is so much more satisfying. But this wasn't a break to drift, this was just a momentum drift. And I just tried to keep the car on the road. It was so much better. Definitely check out this mod if you want some more realistic handling. I just realized the second thing, they should have also added the true 1440p mode to Fast Fusion, so no more upscaling to 4K and then the monitor downscales it to 1440p. It's so stupid, right? Like the game was running in 1440p internal resolution, upscaled to 4K, and then the TV scales it back down to 1440p. Wait a second, I don't believe that's true. You really think the pixel response time is slower than 8 milliseconds? That would be a terrifically bad display though. The pixel response time is higher than 8 milliseconds. It is around 33 milliseconds. That's insane. That is really, really bad. I'm not really sure how that works, because if the response time is 33 milliseconds, theoretically you should only be able to fit 30 FPS. If it's really that bad, how does it even work? I genuinely cannot imagine the display being this slow. Yeah, exactly, IPS usually has around 5 milliseconds. so 200 FPS should be no problem. Shall we watch it? That's crazy ass. What the hell, man? I mean, this makes sense because, I mean, for 60 FPS you also want like 13, not 13. You want at least 16 milliseconds response time, you know, something like this. Even that is too high, but that is way too high. That is one ass display, holy shit. Wait, that's at 60 Hertz though.
Seconds, it's noticed.
Do they have a different value for 120 FPS mode? Either way, no matter how you look at it, that's a really bad value. It's a really slow display. Would it matter? I mean, yeah, you want to fully enjoy 120 FPS if you can. There's no 120 Hertz available. I can't imagine they fucked up so badly with the display. I'm curious how that story develops. Got him. I can't believe that they have a display that runs slower than the Switch ones. Checkpoint missed. This game doesn't have a reset, does it? This was actually a critique point that I had about this game. It doesn't have a reset. Yeah, I mean, we already said if you want 120 FPS, you need a frame response of 8 milliseconds at least. So the pixel can actually switch its color before the next frame arrives. I don't think I've ever seen a device where the frame rate is higher than the pixel response time. I genuinely do not. I have never seen that before. Because it's such a basic thing, right? Obviously, the pixels need to switch fast enough so they can actually display the frame rate that the display is capable of. I remember the hype for the Ouya was huge. I never understood why though. Like, what exactly was the selling point of the Ouya? You can play your Android games on the TV? Like, it was insanely huge on Kickstarter. I think it raised 10 million or so. Some people definitely retired.
That's why we're here.
On those sales. I wanted to get him. Nice rendering. I feel during off-road you should have more the original grip values for drifting. I feel like I'm jumping more than before. I'm actually quite happy how good this car is already. Needs a few more upgrades though. 17k, it's an old event. It's a new event. Kinda short. Wow, that's good. Probably gonna get my ass kicked on that one, but at least it pays good, even if I don't get first. Actually, how did I tune this car? Let's see how it does on understeer. Okay, it definitely has a lot more downforce than the Mustang. Okay, this feels more like Most Wanted now. Wow. But the Mustang obviously doesn't have much downforce. You could feel it. On the other hand, the GT3 RS, that was a good choice, man. Hey, one of those days they must release a new racing game that's actually gonna be popular, right, guys? Right? I feel like I make my life so extremely hard just by trying to keep old games alive, because the new games are not doing numbers. Tooth extraction today. Have fun. I assume it's a wisdom tooth. Still have all of my teeth. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they would tell me that I should get some of my wisdom teeth pulled. I wonder how long I would have to recover, or I don't know. I don't know if I even had to stop streaming. I guess it depends on the swelling. I mean, to be fair, if the swelling is really bad, then I would probably just turn off the camera. I think the bigger problem is like pain and exhaustion. Like that would be problematic to stream. I guess depending on the swelling, my speech would also be impaired. Now, this is really fun. Definitely upgrade your car, guys. I should probably cheat some money and try some faster cars. I guess I could just... No, I could load my main save file. The main save file has a lot of stuff. Yeah, that is true. Like, my sister removed all of her 4 wisdom tooth at once. That did hospitalize her for a few days. The only good RNG you had in terms of your body. You know, I can only imagine that they are so small that they're not relevant. You know, I can't imagine you just don't have them. Unless that genetic trait is actually a thing, but I feel like just biologically it would be a lot more likely that your other 2 are extremely underdeveloped. X-ray verified twice. You know, then I would say they probably fell out at some point in your life.
It was Jordan, and she's pissed.
What did we do?
It's so interesting that you just don't have 4 wisdom teeth.
Spotlight's on us. A lot to go.
Does that text say anything about where
Dude, the
we're
new handling
taking
model
this
is
car to?
awesome.
Nope. Guess we're gonna find out. Hopefully not.
That's a really good choice. I mean, obviously the GT3 is gonna be a great handling car in real life, but now it feels like it in the game too. Like, the drifts feel satisfying because they feel real.
This doesn't look like the type of place to hand out parking tickets.
They did a really good job. I'm so impressed. This feels actually really good. You know, the handling is at a point where I would say, dude, Need for Speed guys, hire them. Hire them and let them do the handling in the next game. Nah, it's not comparable to Unbound. It's definitely less grippy than Most Wanted, so yeah, I wouldn't even say grip. It feels more like Forza Horizon. Grip maybe, it depends on the car and the tuning you've chosen. Like, developers themselves, you know, compared to Forza Horizon in grid. And I would say grid, yes, if you have a more drifty car. This is one of the more grippy cars. And forcing it into
I wonder how you get started doing that
a
stuff.
drift. Yeah, it's supposed to be Simcade, and really feels like it. They did a fantastic job. Big recommendation if you don't like brake to drift.
Try not to destroy everything.
This eliminates it.
Stop it.
Alright, let's turn back the difficulty because I want to see what this car is capable of. Easy. Oh, that's why she said it. It was the game's difficulty. She would have said hard. Or medium. Oh yeah, my sister sent me this one. Do you guys know the name of my sister? I'm not sure if you ever asked me. I definitely told you my brother's name. I'm curious, does anyone know what my sister is called? Other than the demon next door. To be fair, most people probably don't even know that I have a sister. I'm genuinely not sure if I ever told you guys. Oh, let's play a game. You have to guess it. Right, chat? Guess my sister's name. Winner gets a gift sub or a song request. I probably said it at least once, but I don't remember when. Oh, Elite remembered. Let's go. Well, song request for you then. It's gotta be a really long time ago though, right? Like, do you have any idea when I told you? You even got it right with C and not with K. Or CH, I guess. Giving you all Austrian female names. This might be quite a list. Dude, I actually asked AI for some kid names. But honestly, most of them were nah. You just remembered randomly. Yeah, it's gotta be a long time ago, man. I'm certain I didn't say it recently. Otherwise you would have more people.
Don't let him get away again.
More people reacting to it. You wouldn't have been the only one that guessed. Well, Camstone has a few other ones. They have more than one song. Although one of them is pretty bad. I'm trying to remember. Yeah. Yeah, one of the Camstones is just bad. Back to 1080p. Yeah, Twitch servers actually they have been good yesterday. And I think they have been good today. We could try 2K stream tomorrow. What do you guys think? We can reboot the 2K streaming feature tomorrow. All I wanted was 2 days of no delay. Like, I wanted 2 streaming days in a row without any complications, laggy Twitch servers, etc. We could go back to 2K tomorrow. I mean, I can't imagine anyone saying no to this, but I'm here. Can launch 1440p because of the location restriction. That is a thing, yeah. Exclamation mark VPN. We actually got a sponsorship running right now. If you guys want to see the 2K stream,
Smile, dipshit, you're on dash cam.
you can check out Surfshark. You get 4 months for free
Give them what they're begging for.
when you get yourself a plan.
Hey everyone, the coffee break is over. A previous runner is back
Obviously a
for
fat
more.
discount attached to it as well. 2K on Twitch since when? About 3 weeks is when I tested it for the first time. It works really well as long as the servers keep up, but you know, sometimes the servers lag out. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, this is what I do. Play a bunch of racing games, try to find mods that are worth playing. And, you know, improve whatever games that are released as much as possible. Especially mods that fix like issues that the developers couldn't get to. Wait a second, did I bug the interface?
How's your car running?
Because now it's broken at night as well. Right, I was complaining earlier that I didn't see the NOS portal, and now the same thing happened again. Might be car related and not day and night related. Like the comparison to Forza Horizon is not far off. You get a nice Simcade now. No more brake to drift. If you want to drift, weight shift, pull the handbrake, get drift tires. Oops. Let's try to hit heat level 5. Why did I take so much damage from a traffic run? Whoa, physics. That was a very unexpected kill.
We're gonna need more officers out here to maintain control of this shit show.
Reinforcements are headed your way.
I got 1 repair left.
Hey, turn into one of those spike strips we're setting up, okay?
Copy.
You know, at this point,
I've lost visual of the subject.
I've been gaslit into believing that Granite never starts.
Check everywhere.
There is no version of Granite that starts. It always loops, man. It's a conspiracy theory. They're trying to get you, man. A 10-hour version of Granite and it never starts. At least loop the version from Pure, because that one is less monotone. When I played the game for the first time, we additionally had the game's music soundtrack running. What exactly are we trying to get out of the people by crashing their party? Like, what's our goal here? I don't get it. I actually never really thought about it. The news would see the cops' secret stash of cars. No, that happens at the end. That happens at the end. That's the goal of this event. Oh, so what? Okay. Oh yeah. It's because we get the cops at the end here. Why we can't do it? Oh, that's a place. Oh yeah, that's the place. That's where the thing is hidden. But we're getting ambushed. Alright, thanks guys. Honestly, I never really thought about it. I think it always flew by me. Sometimes I'm really bad at paying attention to detail. Fastest way back is probably driving. Wait, I can't do markers? I can only do markers like this. I actually have to pinpoint a landmark. Can't just pick the road. True, does the game ever tell you who ratted us out, why this didn't work? Right, the game never explains why they found us. Oh wait, they saw camera footage. No, they saw camera footage, that's why.
Step aside, sweetheart. I'm just getting started.
I remember. Curious how this one's gonna feel. The GT3 RS was very grippy. Yeah, this one is a lot more loose.
Cops are watching out for us, and we can't go back there.
Wait, why is it set to full oversteer? I bet even at full understeer this car, yeah, it's still tail happy. It's also raining. Yeah, it's also raining in Vienna. Mega immersion. It's dark outside, it's raining, I feel right at home. You can't get this Camaro without mods. Yeah, but that's why mods exist, right? To make up of the shortcomings from developers. Why is her window broken?
I don't need this kind of thing. Every cop in the city is looking for you.
That's because we've got a chance.
I mean, obviously the GT2 is more expensive. You know, the most confusing thing for me in cars was always that, you know, GT1 is a faster class than GT2
On my way back to you.
and GT3. Like usually higher number, more power, or, you know, better or stronger or faster.
Looks like it's waking up.
And then you have like racing where it's the other way around, right? Formula 1 is the fast one, Formula 4 is slow. It kind of makes sense in the context of racing because obviously first place is better than second place, is better than third place. I feel like on this playthrough the chromatic aberration is super obvious to me. One thing I have to test after I beat the main story is some drifting, right? They also revamped drifting, so I'm gonna put some drift tires on my car. Drift suspension and see what kind of damage we can do and see how it feels.
Copy, Control, taking up pursuit. Copy that, Control.
Yeah, we basically switched to Forza Horizon.
Jackson, Warren, that you? I thought the task force...
The handling's pretty damn good, man.
I'm on it. Lucas,
This gets the Kuru seal of approval. We want arcade or realistic. Simcade is usually what I like the most. Pure simulation is usually hella annoying. Extended can have a different meaning. You know what annoys me the most about her? She drives 120 kilometers per hour. If you're lucky. Escaping from the cops with some really important facts and everything, and she's just sandbagging. Actually, Luca. Wait, no, she's driving. Yeah, she's driving. Luca's on the laptop. You know, I just had a random memory. My first Wii killed itself. Shouts to Nintendo, by the way, because the always online features of the Wii made it run really hot and it fried itself over time. Like it was eating, first of all, a shit ton of energy. Secondarily, it was cooking itself until the GPU was fried. And the funny thing is, the console actually didn't die. It just had massive amount of artifacts during rendering. I didn't even know that's possible, that you can fry a GPU to a point where it has errors, but it doesn't actually die. It doesn't get slower, like it just has artifacts. Okay, they actually changed the way damage works. So the cops take less damage, but I don't take damage anymore. This is a nice change, this is part of the mod. I'm not sure there was in a changelog, but I can tell. Taking less damage. You know, I was okay with both the handling in GTA 4 and 5, so if they have something similar in GTA 6, I'll be happy. It's funny because you can trigger the end zone without Anna. It's all about that money, bro.
And large-scale theft in the street racing
gotta love the guy that just films it instead of actually collecting money himself. Dude, I would be on the ground there. I'd be on the ground getting as many bills as I can get, man. Why do the actual liveries have such a bad spot? You know what I mean? Like, why is just a silver one top one in the community? It's trending. Wait, most popular. It still is the same shit. Made in Flacht. That sounds like a German city. How do they do this? How do they change the cameras for this? Is that an option? I think it's related to mods, probably. But hey, it doesn't break the game, so it's fine, right? You could like 400 downloads on a plain silver and like 30 on something where I put work in. I don't know, do people not know how to change the color of their car and that's why they use community ones? That is ridiculous, but that's the only explanation that I can come up with. Right, they don't know how to change the color, so they take someone's basic ass color. Is the Need for Speed IP on hold? Yes, until we don't know. But yeah, basically all the Criterion boys and girls are now working on Battlefield until that game ships and probably has DLC. Then maybe they're allowed to go back to Need for Speed. I genuinely don't know. We will see, I guess. But yeah, do not expect a Need for Speed next year. In my opinion, the earliest time we will see another Need for Speed will be 27. The only time that would change if EA hires another studio that remakes a Need for Speed. But it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, there's no way they're hiring another studio to make a new Need for Speed. But they might hire another studio to remaster a Need for Speed that is already out. They're not even remastered, since the same engine as 2010. That's what I said.
You know there's a police
I said the exact same thing.
If we want their
It would be
attention,
easy for them
keep
because
the
they have
starter.
already done it, right?
Just gotta make sure they can't ignore us.
It would be such a disappointment if they bring back Most Wanted 2012. Yeah, randomly bringing back the initial intent for Most Wanted 2012 as a new game, that would be sick.
Confront him. Leave that to me.
No, no, no!
Can we trust her?
I don't know. Can we trust her? Quick kill. But I'm not done yet. I still need to check out the drift handling in this mod. And we can do some of the side missions.
For too long,
Or we switch over to
Frank
fast
Mercer
fusion, that
used
should be
his
fun
time
too.
for his own
Why not get away today? Because I got away. I got away from that game. As fast as I could after yesterday's stream. The sequel of this couldn't be any worse. And Unbound enters the stage. Yeah, I finished this game the first time 5.5 years ago. Time flies. Pre-COVID times. It is 5.5 years old, yep. November 2019 was the release, I think. Or maybe October. Well, they gave you the M3, right? But I kinda agree, Puppy's Camaro might have been fun. The weird thing is you can't even unlock it. I'm not sure why they didn't think that people would want it. But this reminds me a bit of Payback right now. The handling changes. Yeah, if I ever would have to compare it, it now feels like the drifting in Payback, which was actually pretty good. Wasn't my favorite game mode, but it never is in Payback, but it was working. To be fair, it was working in Heat as well. As far as I remember. But it feels more natural now. So if you're a pure drifter, I would say check this out. You know, I need to counter steer, hold the throttle, it's good. You can really tell like two people that actually knew what they were doing played around with the handling. And the thing is, if I can tell, in my opinion, the developers should be able to tell too. But I feel like the number one thing that they neglect whenever they make a new racing game is the handling. Like, why do modders have a better understanding of what a car should feel like than a lot of developers? You also can't get the wheels the Camaro has. Well, with mods you can, I guess. Many devs don't even drive. I agree. I very much agree on that one. I think a lot of developers are either not drivers themselves or haven't played many racing games themselves that actually had good handling model. I think it really is just a lack of experience that leads to these awkward as hell handling models. And the thing is, it's always such a big deal, right? Like, it's so frustrating when a new racing game comes out and everyone is like, "Oh, this car, this doesn't feel like driving cars. It's just awkward. I don't like it." Because bad handling is like the number one reason why someone will immediately drop a new racing game. He did one job, but that's very cool. The scenery at night is cool. Yeah. I feel like they could have dropped a lot of development time from the day. Oh, now there's the GT2 RS. Imagine you buy a GT3 RS, put a turbo in, and then rebadge it. This is my custom GT2. I can say that now because I understood what the difference is between those two. But yeah, I'm actually excited to play the update for Fast Fusion. Absolutely love that game. It's one of those games that I support with all of my heart. Because they still make games that I want. Right? Sometimes I feel like a dinosaur when I actually get my hands on a good racing game and it is new. On a perfectly flat track like this, I think the drifting is gonna shine. I mean, honestly, this feels really good. I don't know what else to say. You know, at worst I could imagine if you have a weaker car that, you know, it might not feel as good, but honestly, this one feels great.
This one might have legs.
I still prefer drifting in Carbon, where you drift at like 250 kilometers per hour. It makes it very exciting. I would kind of love that approach to, you know, embracing the arcade speed more. I really like that about Need for Speed. You know, just some ridiculous speed attached to certain game modes. The Speed Challenge and Pro Street, the drifting and Carbon, especially the Canyon, man. You cannot tell me this wouldn't be successful nowadays. Like I would risk my entire savings on that. Right, if I could invest into the next Need for Speed and I can just call the shots on how the game is gonna end up being. That'd be sick. Maybe EA is responsible if I tell them, you know, I pay them, I invest into it. Obviously I want the profit share, so I can make my money back, but you know, I'm just so convinced that it would be a success, you know. Alright, what can I say? The grip handling as well as the drifting has a lot of depth to it. Like messing around with the live tuning is noticeable, and you can definitely and quickly find a setting you like. You know, the problem with 2015 is that you always have to go back to the garage. You know, the last time we had something like this, it was in Most Wanted. At Most Wanted, you can just pause the screen and tune your car. This is even better. Like, this is actually better than Most Wanted. Did you ever think the day would come where I would say this? But yeah, in comparison to Most Wanted, you can change it on the fly without even stopping the game. So it could be in the middle of a corner and you change your downforce balance or your suspension setup, right? This is even better. Live tuning is brilliant, and honestly, this is one of the things why I think Need for Speed deserves better games, because they have so many good ideas, right? If they would just deliver a full package once, actually take the time needed, you know, to make the game that they want to make, and just release a fully fledged, refined game, right? It needs that polish. So sleep tight, do come back tomorrow for more.